Deep within the unexplored jungles of South America, a legend was born. A legend whispered among tribes, carried on the wind across vast distances. This was the legend of El Dorado, the lost city of gold. The stories varied, changing with each retelling. Some spoke of a city with streets paved in gold, where gold was as common as stone. Others described a powerful king who coated himself in gold dust, a shimmering figure of immense wealth. These tales, passed down through generations, spoke of a place of unimaginable riches, a place hidden deep within the jungle, its location a closely guarded secret. But were these stories simply myths, or did they hint at a truth buried beneath centuries of time and tangled vegetation? The allure of El Dorado was about to capture the imagination of the world. One of the most enduring images associated with El Dorado is that of the Gilded One, a figure shrouded in mystery and legend. This figure, said to be a king or priest, would cover himself in gold dust as part of a sacred ritual, a practice that symbolized both divine favor and immense wealth. This ritual, performed on Lake Guatavita, high in the Andes Mountains, was a ceremony of unimaginable opulence, a spectacle that captivated the imagination of all who heard of it. Imagine this, a vast lake surrounded by towering peaks, a natural amphitheater for this grand display. The air is thin, the silence broken only by the wind whistling through the mountains, creating an eerie yet majestic atmosphere. On a raft adorned with gold and emeralds, the king stands tall, his body shimmering in the sunlight, a sight that must have seemed otherworldly. He is covered head to toe in gold dust, a living embodiment of wealth and power, a figure that seemed to transcend the mortal realm. This image, passed down through stories and later depicted in paintings, fueled the fires of the El Dorado legend, a tale that promised untold riches and adventure. Could such a ritual, such unimaginable wealth, truly exist? The possibility was too tempting for many to ignore, leading countless explorers on perilous journeys in search of this golden paradise. These explorers braved dense jungles, treacherous mountains, and uncharted territories, driven by the hope of discovering El Dorado and its legendary treasures. Guided by ancient maps and compasses, they ventured into the unknown, their minds filled with visions of gold and glory. Many returned empty-handed, their dreams shattered, but the legend of El Dorado lived on, continuing to inspire and tantalize future generations. News of a land filled with gold reached the ears of Spanish conquistadors in the early 16th century. Tales of unimaginable wealth and cities paved with gold spread like wildfire, igniting the imaginations of these ambitious explorers. These hardened soldiers, driven by a thirst for conquest and treasure, had already toppled empires in the New World. Their victories over the Aztec and Inca empires were legendary, and their hunger for more riches was insatiable. The Aztec and Inca empires had fallen, their gold filling Spanish coffers. The wealth they amassed was staggering, yet it only fueled their desire for more. But the legend of El Dorado promised something even greater. Whispers of a city made entirely of gold, hidden deep within the uncharted territories of South America, captivated their minds. A city of pure gold, hidden somewhere in the vast, unexplored territories of South America. The promise of such immense wealth was irresistible, drawing countless adventurers into the unknown. This was a prize worth fighting for, a legend worth risking everything to find. The allure of El Dorado was so powerful that it overshadowed the dangers that lay ahead. The conquistadors, led by figures like Gonzalo Pizarro and Sebastián de Belalcázar, embarked on expeditions into the heart of the continent. Their determination was unwavering, their resolve unbreakable. They braved treacherous jungles, scaled perilous mountains, and faced hostile tribes, all in pursuit of the mythical city. The journey was fraught with peril, but the promise of El Dorado kept them going. Their arrival in South America would have a profound impact on the continent, forever changing the course of history. The search for El Dorado was not just a quest for gold, but a journey that would alter the fate of entire civilizations. The search for El Dorado became intertwined with the era of European exploration. Maps of the time, often inaccurate and based on hearsay, fueled the legend. Unexplored regions were labeled with enticing names like the Golden City or the Land of El Dorado. Explorers, both Spanish and from other European nations, ventured into the unknown. They followed rivers, crossed mountains, and hacked their way through dense jungles. They faced disease, starvation, and attacks from indigenous tribes, their determination fueled by the promise of unimaginable wealth. Each expedition, whether successful in finding gold or not, added to the growing body of knowledge about South America. New lands were mapped, New tribes encountered, and the true diversity of the continent began to be revealed. As the search for El Dorado intensified, the legend itself began to take on a life of its own. It became a symbol of ultimate wealth and the object of obsession for explorers, cartographers, and dreamers alike. Cartographers, eager to capitalize on the obsession, began including El Dorado on their maps. These maps, often works of both geography and imagination, depicted the mythical city in various locations, adding to the confusion and mystery. El Dorado, once a whispered legend among indigenous tribes, had become a global phenomenon. It was a story that captured the imagination of a world hungry for adventure and riches. Section 6. Aguirre, the Wrath of God, Madness in the Jungle. The quest for El Dorado could drive men to madness, as exemplified by the brutal reign of Lope de Aguirre. In 1560, Aguirre joined an expedition led by Pedro de Ursua to find the legendary city. But Aguirre, driven by greed and paranoia, orchestrated a mutiny, taking control of the expedition. Aguirre's descent into madness became legendary. He declared himself king of El Dorado, even though he was nowhere near finding it. He terrorized indigenous populations, murdered his own men, and ultimately met a violent end. Aguirre's story became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dark side of the pursuit of wealth and the dangers that lurked in the heart of the jungle. Section 7. The search continues from the Andes to the Amazon. The search for El Dorado spanned centuries, with expeditions crisscrossing the continent. The focus shifted from the Andes Mountains, where the legend of the Gilded One originated, to the vast and unexplored Amazon rainforest. Explorers ventured deep into the Amazon basin, following rivers like the Orinoco and the Amazon itself. They encountered new tribes, faced deadly creatures, and battled the unforgiving elements. Some returned with tales of lost cities and glimpses of gold, further fueling the legend. But El Dorado, the city of gold, remained elusive. The more explorers searched, the more the legend seemed to slip through their fingers, always just out of reach. Section 8. The price of gold, impact on indigenous cultures. The relentless pursuit of El Dorado had a devastating impact on South America's indigenous populations. The arrival of the Spanish and other Europeans brought with it diseases like smallpox, which ravaged native communities. Forced labor, exploitation of resources, and outright warfare further decimated indigenous populations. The quest for gold, fueled by greed and ambition, left a trail of destruction and suffering in its wake. The true cost of the El Dorado legend was paid for in the blood and tears of the people who called South America home, long before the arrival of the Europeans. Section 9. Lost cities and ancient treasures, real-life discoveries. While the mythical city of El Dorado remains elusive, the search for it led to some incredible real-life discoveries. Ancient ruins, hidden deep within jungles or buried beneath centuries of earth, offered glimpses into the rich history of South America. The discovery of Ciudad Perdida, the lost city in the Sierra Nevada mountains of Colombia, is just one example. This ancient city, built by the Tairona people centuries before the arrival of the Spanish, offers a glimpse into a lost civilization. Though not the city of gold described in the El Dorado legend, such discoveries highlight the fact that truth can be stranger than fiction. South America, even today, holds countless secrets waiting to be uncovered. Section 10. El Dorado in popular culture, books, movies, and more. The allure of El Dorado has transcended time and place, becoming a fixture in popular culture. From classic literature to Hollywood blockbusters, the legend continues to capture the imagination. Sir Walter Raleigh's account of his search for El Dorado, published in 1596, helped popularize the legend. Movies like The Man Who Would Be King and Raiders of the Lost Ark drew inspiration from the themes of adventure and lost cities associated with El Dorado. Video games too have embraced the legend, with franchises like Uncharted and Tomb Raider featuring quests for the lost city of gold. The enduring appeal of El Dorado lies in its ability to tap into our sense of wonder and our desire for adventure. Section 11. The enduring mystery. Will we ever find El Dorado? Centuries after the legend first surfaced, the question remains, will we ever find El Dorado? This mythical city of gold has tantalized explorers and adventurers for generations, sparking countless expeditions into the heart of the unknown. The answer, like the jungle that may conceal it, is shrouded in mystery. The dense foliage and treacherous terrain have kept its secrets well guarded, making every step an arduous journey into the past. Some believe that El Dorado as a physical city never existed. They argue that the legend is a metaphor, a representation of the indigenous culture's reverence for gold and their connection to nature. These artifacts, often found in ancient burial sites, tell stories of a people who valued gold not just for its material worth, but for its spiritual significance. Others maintain that there are still vast, unexplored regions in South America, places where a lost city could remain hidden. The Amazon rainforest, with its impenetrable canopy and hidden valleys, could still hold the key to this age-old mystery. Whether a literal city of gold or a symbol of our enduring fascination with the unknown, El Dorado continues to captivate. It represents the human spirit's relentless quest for discovery and the allure of the unattainable. It is a reminder that there are still mysteries to be solved, stories to be uncovered, and adventures to be had. The legend of El Dorado fuels our imagination and drives us to explore the uncharted territories of our world. And perhaps, just perhaps, somewhere deep within the heart of the jungle, the legend of El Dorado awaits its time to be rediscovered. The search for El Dorado is not just about finding a city of gold, but about the journey itself and the endless possibilities that lie ahead.